Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scott Walker. I am the Country Manager for Singapore and Indonesia, and thank you for tuning in to our international market update for Indonesia. The Indonesian market is a rising star market for Tourism Australia. 208,800 Indonesians travelled to Australia up to year ending December 2018. That's 8% growth. So we're seeing great growth out of the market. 78% of that was leisure and 75% of total arrivals was repeat purchase. The value of the market is just over 806 million. It's the fastest growing market when it comes to spend in the world at 17%. We've recently overtaken Germany to become the 11th largest market for inbound visitors, 15th largest for visitor spend. The growth in Indonesian market has been consistent this last year, achieving 200,000 plus arrivals from July and staying there up until January. Now, we recently got January statistics, and this number has increased even further to 209,609% growth. So that is the most Indonesians that have traveled to Australia in a 12-month period. So we're very happy with the performance of Indonesia, but with a very large population, we think we can do a whole lot more there. Let's look a little bit deeper into understanding the Indonesian consumer and what some of the most important factors are when the Indonesian is considering which holiday destination they want to go to. Now, icons and iconic experiences are still a big part of this market. Nature and wildlife, as you can see, features prominently and has been growing in its importance over the last few years. Our Undiscover Australia campaign recently in the market attempted to bring out some of the new and lesser known nature and wildlife experiences, and we hope to continue to push that noise. So if your product is in line with that, I think that the Indonesian market is one you should consider. Safety and security is of a high priority to the Indonesian consumer, and fortunately Australia does have a good reputation for strong safety and security. A good infrastructure, as you may know if you visited Jakarta, it doesn't have the best infrastructure. There is a lot of traffic, and Australia has that as a sales option. Friendly and open citizens, and certainly family friendly, as there are often large groups of family travelling. Value for money is a little bit down the list, but is in there. In line with Tourism Australia's global marketing strategy, we're targeting a high-value traveller from Indonesia. Those travellers that are willing to travel long haul, have a preference for Australia, and represent high value. So we think there's about 0.5 million high-value travellers in Indonesia that are currently considering Australia as a travel destination. They represent about 18% of the overall long-haul market. They're about 1 in 5 visitors to Australia. And we think that there is an opportunity to target another 0.5 million high-value travellers who are not currently considering Australia as a destination. They stay an average of 7 nights. They spend 2 to 3 times more than the average traveller, and about 18% of them are free and independent travel. So there is still a role for package and group sales in the market. Now that we know what drives the Indonesian consumer and how we're targeting the consumer in the market, let's look at some of our opportunities and challenges. Now, to reiterate, it's the 11th largest market for Australia, now close to 210,000 arrivals to year ending January. There's a favourable exchange rate currently for the Indonesian traveller, so that puts the value proposition for Australia high in their mind. There's been some online visa promotion amongst the Indonesian traveller. In 2017, the end of 2017, Indonesia switched to an online process for holiday makers. This has made it slightly easier for them to go in and apply for their visa, and has really gone a long way to switch a negative visa perception. So right now you receive very positive feedback about visa application, so that is a big opportunity. There's a focus on introducing new Australian experiences. Now we do that through the Undiscover Australia campaign and all of our partnerships in the market. There's an opportunity for halal-friendly travel. We've seen some of our competitors, including Japan, are very strong in this space. Australia has the opportunity to step in and provide those new news in halal-friendly travel areas. So if your business is focused on that, I think that Indonesia is going to be a big opportunity for you. And also bouncing back from elections. There will be presidential elections in April. It is very difficult for the Indonesian consumer to vote overseas. So they've been told basically by the current administration to stay in country and vote. Now, what we're seeing is there is a lot of pent-up demand for overseas travel, and from the day after the election and onwards, there are very limited seats for at least a month's period. So that's a strong opportunity for us. Now, our challenges are competition. Japan and Europe and also Korea, they have a strong value proposition, and we're seeing that their activities are increasing in the market. Also getting beyond Jakarta and Surabaya. Now this is more of a resource issue, but Indonesia is a very diverse country, and we're seeing more and more wealth coming up in the second tier cities and more of a propensity to travel outbound. So looking at how we reach those consumers is also one of our challenges. We also really, and we do highlight this almost every year, particularly at ATE, is Australian industry engagement is still needed. There is no substitute for going up into the market, meeting with your buyers and developing a relationship. And while this takes time for the Indonesian market, this is incredibly important, and those businesses are the most successful in the market are the ones that are able to build for the long term. In line with the demand for Australia, the Indonesian consumer does have a strong selection of choice for aviation access. Plenty of access from Jakarta and Denpasar to most major cities in Australia, and this is growing. Garuda Indonesia does have the lion's share of that, but that market share is currently not holding against very aggressive competition from Singapore Airlines, Qantas, Jetstar and others. We're seeing that this is a very dynamic environment for aviation, and the consumer is winning. In addition to our airline partnerships and the importance of working with our airline partners, we also work with key distribution partners in the market to leverage their marketing channels and their databases, particularly when they align with our targeted marketing campaigns, which in the market is currently undiscovered. We also look to enhance their knowledge through face-to-face training via the Aussie Specialist program. In recent times, we've hired a new Aussie Specialist trainer and coordinator. His name is Dave. He'll be attending ATE, and you'll be able to meet him face to face. And I encourage all of you who have an interest in the Indonesian market to ensure that Dave is aware of your product, anything that's new, and also help him to sell it to the Indonesian travel agent, and that will provide you with a leg up in the market if you can't actually be up there. Consumer travel fairs also form an important part of the activities that we conduct, and we work with our key distribution partners to sell on the spot and partner with our banking partners to bring the consumer in. So our current key distribution partners in the market are Dwidaya Tour, Golden Rama Tour, Smiling Tour, Wita Tour, Yuk Travel, and in Surabaya we work with Monas Tour. 2018 has been a big year of activity. Let's have a look at some of our recent and our upcoming activities. Undiscover Australia brand launch happened in Jakarta in September of 2018. This is for the region, and in the market it has been going strong ever since. As a part of that campaign, there was an Australia on Sale promotion, which was a 3-week promotion partnering with our major airlines and our KDP partners to deliver on some sales fairs in September and really kickstart conversion of this campaign. The KDP campaigns finished in December of 2018, and the states have now come in to draw out some of their experiences that the Indonesian consumer might not know, and those are running through to the end of the financial year. We also worked on Undiscover with Singapore Airlines to provide tactical offers up until close to the end of the financial year. We conducted a product development forum, which is setting the agents up for you at ATE, giving them a bit of a background, telling them what to expect and how to interact with the Australian seller. Last weekend we held the BCA Australia Travel Fair. Now this is a consumer-led travel fair partnering with all of our KDPs. This is a huge activity with hundreds of thousands of people coming to the fair in Jakarta last weekend. We're going to be holding an Aussie Specialist workshop in April, and this will be a large-scale Aussie Specialist training. It's important that you get to spend some time with our Aussie Specialist trainer while he's at ATE to make sure that you're front of mind when we hold this workshop. And we're also looking at developing a short, sharp sales campaign with Traveloka in April. How can you get involved? Well, as always, developing your relationship with the key distribution partners is critical, and of course ATE is your chance to build on your relationships and also start new ones. We are seeing an increasing prevalence of OTA activity in the market. Traveloka and Ticket.com are big players and are growing by the day. We're looking at ways to tap your business into Traveloka and Ticket.com, and hopefully in 2019 we will come out with some opportunities for you. Connect with the ITOs. ITOs will have those networks and also have those relationships so they can hopefully unlock some business that you might not have known was there. And also, once again, engaging with the Aussie Specialist Program. And that brings us to the end of our Indonesia market update pre-ATE. We're going to have some great representation from Tourism Australia's Indonesia office at ATE, Agitcha, Willen, our business development managers, as well as Dave, our Aussie specialist trainer and coordinator, will all be there, hungry for new information and willing to help you to get into the Indonesian market. Of course, I will be there as well. I thank you so much for your attention and your support for the Indonesian market, and I wish you all the best of success for the upcoming ATE. Thank you.